Should you be your date's therapist? Sometimes this is referred to as trying to save someone through dating them or functioning as their de facto counselor through dating them. So, should you be your date's therapist? When I say this, I'm not referring to dating a therapist, but you, whether a male or female, functioning as your partner's therapist or counselor. People used to say, don't do that. They say that's between your partner and their counselor. It's not your business. It's not something that you should be doing. And I balked against that. I didn't like that. I was like, why shouldn't you try to help people? Shouldn't you try to love them, be there for them, of all people, your partner, make a difference in their lives? Isn't that the Christian value of love, agape love? You there to give of yourself to help another person come through the issues and struggles that they have? I came to see the biggest reason, as I think through this issue, the biggest reason not to do this is that you can still help people just as a friend instead, and not as a partner. Help someone as their friend and not as their dating partner, boyfriend or girlfriend or husband or wife. Why is it better to just maybe focus on helping a friend, being a counselor or like a therapist, or try to change a friend for their own good instead of a partner? This video applies for both men or women. So I think one of the biggest reasons of all is you have to ask yourself, why do you even like the person? If he or she has issues and psychological, mental, emotional problems that cause the person to have a repugnant or at least a rebartative personality of some sort or another, what is it that you like about the person so much? If they have all these issues, if they have a rotten personality of some sort, or at least a rebartative one that is undesirable, why do you like that person? Perhaps is it just lust, sexual lust, and then you'll end up abandoning the person in the long run when you no longer have that spark of sexual desire with him or her. You leave the person and then end up making the person's situation, a mental state, much worse than it was. So that's one reason. Why do you like the person? Now, I can understand you could still love someone who has mental issues and emotional, mental health issues. You can still love and be attracted to that person and their personality for sure. Sometimes people's quirks and deepness and various issues they're going through, it's a part of who they are and it can make them attractive. But ask yourself, why do you like that person? Number two, you may turn them off sexually or romantically, or be turned on to a bad choice. You have to understand, now this depends and is nuanced based on your gender, but this is especially true for a female. She doesn't want to feel like a loser who can't contribute to the relationship. And if she's okay with contributing nothing to the relationship, again, you need to ask yourself, why are you interested in her? Why should you be dating her? You see, a woman can often feel very aware of her flaws, and if she needs a therapist and a counselor and has all these various issues she's going through, and you're always there as the one, quote, above her, helping her to sort through these things, it can really make her feel bad. And indirectly, she may not even be aware of it, turned off to you sexually and romantically, losing interest in you. And if she's okay and just pulling you down, maybe you should ask yourself, why is that the kind of person you should be with? And for a female who is trying to save a man, help a man, be his counselor or therapist, yeah, sometimes that can bring great joy to a woman, make her feel good about herself. She could take joy in trying to fix and tame the bad boy, to be the healer of the man who has issues. That can often make her feel great about herself and valuable. But even there, a woman has to ask herself, Maybe you're being turned on sexually to this man who is a bad choice to you, a bad boy of sorts. Maybe he's not the best person for you to be with, even though he makes you feel so good about yourself and better about your own flaws because he has bigger flaws than you. Maybe you should still think twice about dating such a person. And yeah, it could be a certain power exchange going on when you're dating that kind of bad boy, that rough guy. It can make you feel a certain way. And sometimes a man dating a woman who needs the counseling and the therapy, and you're there helping her out. It can demonstrate to that woman your intelligence, a certain form of power that you're able to do that. It can make you attracted to her. Yes, it could. But once again, you need to sort through it. Is this the best choice? Next point. You'll put a lot of time in the person and your energy can be drained. It may consume you and your life. Now, I do believe in being altruistic, giving of yourself to help other people, giving of yourself to help others, even if it doesn't benefit you. That is God's love, agape love for another person. But couldn't you, if you're so altruistic, if you're so caring for other people, couldn't you just help friends out instead of a partner? In fact, it could be more effective that way because if you're dating that person, he or she will consume your life, your energy, and your time if she has or he has all these issues and that person's always involved in your life as a partner. That time perhaps could be better spent helping a couple of friends. You can maybe in the same amount of energy and time help two, three, four, five people instead of having that one person in your life who is a drain on you like that. Next point is you may not be a good choice for helping that person. You may not be the best or most qualified person to do so. You're not a professional counselor. Now, I do recognize that sometimes professional counselors themselves aren't always the best at helping other people. I realize sometimes it's about money and they're not always just trying to heal you because they want you to keep coming back, or they just simply throw pills at the situation, which sometimes is what is needed. I'm not saying it's not, but sometimes professional counselors themselves aren't the best at helping others. And I recognize that sometimes someone just needs a friend who cares about them, who genuinely loves them. A lay person, as it's called, can be make a great difference in someone's life just to listen and care about someone, to have some wisdom. But with all of that said, sometimes you, the layman, the non-professional, are not you are not the most qualified person to help someone. Some mental and emotional health issues are very complex. It takes training, it takes a lot of knowledge, wisdom, skill, and insight to really help that person and not make things worse. And you might not be the best person or the most qualified person for doing this to help the person. Next point is some problems don't go away that easily, or you may find that the person doesn't change. You might spend years of your life involved in a relationship with this person, and the person simply doesn't change. You may have hope that they will one day. You say, well, I really like this person. She's attractive. He's attractive. I enjoy things about him or her. And you think, well, they'll change eventually. I can change the person. Well, guess what? Sometimes those problems don't go away or they don't go away that easily. And you've spent years of your life with that person, bringing you down and hurting you. Sometimes hurting you in minor ways, sometimes potentially hurting you in major ways, pulling you down. And guess what? Sometimes once you're locked into that relationship, it's not always easy to get out of, for whether it's money or children or living situations or whatever. Men abusing women, women holding various legal issues over you. Um, you can be stuck and locked into a relationship that you are not able to get out of. Both women and men have something to fear nowadays, being with someone who has deep issues. Next point is the person may not want to change. They may simply not want to change, or they may not want you to be the one to change them. You see, they may want to change, but they may not want you, their partner or a potential partner, to be their therapist or counselor. They want to go to a professional counselor and not have you be the one doing that. They may want to be fixed, but they may not want to be fixed by you. Or they may simply not even want to change. They're not making any effort at it, okay? Yet some people love their sin. They love their darkness. They love the issues they're going through. They want to be angry or hateful or selfish or have whatever issue it might be and not want to change. You want to date that person? Have that person deeply involved in your life? Really? The next point is the type of problem that the person has matters. There's different types of mental and emotional health issues. Some things are small. No one's perfect. No one's totally normal once you get to know them. And nowadays, with more and more psychological labels that are being made, almost anyone could have some kind of psychological mental health issue label slapped on them. Almost everyone. Nobody's truly normal. And if you want to date someone, yeah, you have to learn to work with people. We're all imperfect. You yourself are not perfect. You will bring your own problems, emotional or mental issues into the relationship, your own flaws. And to some extent, we all need to learn to love and accept one another and work with these issues that our partners have and work on our own issues. But with that said, some issues are quite severe. Some mental health issues are just or emotional issues are just not the kind of thing you would really want to have in your life. It can be a real problem sometimes, seriously. Um, Narcissism, someone being very selfish, just thinking of themselves, or or others who are unable to truly care for another person, they lack empathy. Why do you want to be with that kind of person? Some people are psychopaths. I mean, this. If someone has psychopathy as a psychopath, you need to get out of there. Okay, that's a mental health issue that you do not want to date that person. If someone's a low functioning sociopath, you may want to consider not being with that person. And I'm not faulting people who have some other issues like depression. I mean, I'm about to say some things. I don't want to go too much into the specifics. Some people are just depressed. They have hard things happening in their lives. And yeah, you could date them and love them and they could pull out of it. All of us can be down sometimes. But sometimes mental health issues are a sign of other problems. If someone is depressed and there's no reason to be depressed that you can really see, this isn't always the case. I'm not saying all people are depressed for this reason, but some people are depressed because they're just selfish. They look inward to themselves all the time, and they're selfish and lonely because of their own. They're lonely and depressed sometimes, and have these mental health issues because of their selfishness. They're looking inward and not outward to other people and their needs. They haven't learned to cope with life's issues. Once again, that's not everyone, but there are mental health issues that are warning signs of other character flaws in the person's life. Or the mental health issues themselves are just so severe, maybe you really just shouldn't be with the person. Some may be complicated issues like abandonment issues, which if you're dating that person, you're adding complications to relating to them. If they have abandonment issues, relating to that person could be much more complicated. So to conclude, maybe you're already in a committed relationship, such as married to a person with you're married with children, your long-term relationship. Perhaps you should keep your commitment to that person, to love them and see it through. I'm not saying break up with someone, but for those considering dating such a person with mental and emotional health issues, it is a personal choice. No YouTuber or counselor can just tell you for your specific situation what you should do. But it's something that really needs to be thought through. Yes, it could be a beautiful thing to date a man or woman, to love that person and to see that person change, to make a difference in that person's life. Yes, that's a beautiful thing and it can happen. Yes, it can. But you should seriously consider the above points that I gave to you. And most of all, ask yourself, why not just help the person as a friend? Or just go and help some other person and not have that person as your romantic partner? Why not just date someone without such issues? Are you truly in love with the person, seeking to love the person, or is it just lust? Are you ready for the harm it could do to your own life and the time and effort and commitment it'll take to be with such a person?